Breaking news, it finally happened. Akash Network AKT is finally listed on the Coinbase exchange. However, the price action has been underwhelming. And like I said in yesterday's video, this is probably mainly because we're just right now in this bearish week. We're dumping, the market is going down. People are also like just chasing meme coins left and right that get a lot more attention. So this listing is kind of going a bit under the radar, to be honest. And yeah, like I said in yesterday's video, this probably won't have a huge impact on the price, at least in the short term. But I think in the long term, at least in the mid-long term, this is fantastic for Akash Network AKT in terms of liquidity, in terms of user onboarding, and in terms of just the health of the project itself, right? If we actually do look into the kind of immediate reaction of the price, we actually saw a little bit of a pump, right? I think it went up around 10-15%. Here we also saw the announcement at around 8 p.m. here Dubai time last night when it got listed. And then we saw this this pump right away from like $5.30 to around $6.13, $6.17. So that's still a 14-15% pump, immediate pump. But then we just went down again to the levels before the listing. And yeah, ever since then, been consolidating, going even down to almost $5, and now back up to like $5.20. But nothing really happened. This didn't really have any impact at all. At least, like I said, in the short term. I think in the long term, this is a big, big win. And yeah, congratulations, Greg Ozuri, the founder of Akash Network, and the team, right? Adam, the entire Akash Network team. They're also right now at the NVIDIA GTC conference in California, networking, connecting, hopefully building partnerships. And maybe there's something bullish that comes out of that as well, right? So we have Akash Network there. We also have Near Protocol that is currently there, and Render Network, and some more representatives of the crypto industry. Now, one big thing that also was just announced is the Saga Network mainnet launch, which is actually happening in 6 weeks. Within the next 6 weeks, Saga mainnet, April 2024. They also dropped this amazing trailer here, 2-minute trailer about teasing the mainnet. Saga is a super fast layer 1 blockchain built on Cosmos. They're Cosmos OGs. We had Rebecca here on this channel multiple times. We've been covering Saga actually since the very, very early days in 2021, when the idea was basically still to build a canary network in Cosmos. Now Saga has evolved a lot and is a super fast layer 1 blockchain that also implements shared security. And they will also launch with a bunch of chainlets that they are called. And it's tailored for the gaming industry, for the gaming sector, which is severely underserved in Cosmos as of today. So we don't really have a vibrant gaming ecosystem right now, if you compare it to the likes of obviously Ethereum, but also Avalanche, for example. So Saga aims to fix that. We also have Expla and Settlers by PUBG. The company behind it is called Krafton. There's also launching, and there's also some strong synergies here. I think also Expla is invested into Saga, and there's some close partnerships there. So great to see that the Cosmos gaming ecosystem is coming to life. And Saga also has huge integrations with Polygon and also Avalanche, right? So outside of the Cosmos ecosystem. So this is a big win. And of course, in that context, also there's this ongoing airdrop for BadKit NFT holders. You have 7 days left to claim your airdrop. If you have a BadKit, you get 250 tokens for that. And also there is an ongoing airdrop for Celestia and also for Atom stakers, right? So check out your eligibility here and claim the airdrop right away, because this is super time sensitive stuff. Now I want to talk about another category that I think could make a huge comeback this year, right? But I think it's not as obvious as, for example, gaming or metaverse, right? I also think metaverse is definitely going to have a huge comeback, or NFTs in general, right? And like metaverse as kind of part of that, or maybe in its own category. But yeah, I feel like I'm kind of well covered and well exposed for the best Cosmos plays in the metaverse space with Passage, in the NFT space with Stargaze, right? So the question is now also, what is some of the exposure that one can have in the privacy category, which is one bucket, one narrative that I think every cycle is pumping, but it's not as fancy and as attractive as all these other flashy narratives, right? Like restaking, modularity, those are the big ones, right? There's also intersections, for example, between modular privacy or kind of connecting also restaking and shared security concepts with privacy chains. But yeah, and in Cosmos, we have a lot of projects that are coming up there. For example, Anoma and Penumbra, or basically Namada as the chain and Anoma is the project. But Namada is launching. We're also getting a juicy airdrop for staking Atom there. And also Penumbra, where I don't have information about an airdrop, but I think Penumbra is also launching quite soon. Then we have Secret Network, obviously, in the Cosmos ecosystem, quite established with Shade Protocol that is also currently undergoing a huge UX revamp, and that will come out soon. But yeah, then also, I talked about it in previous videos. What about some of the non-Cosmos plays, right? Non-Cosmos privacy plays. And there's one specifically that we also entered a content partnership with in the past couple of weeks, and that is Aleph Zero. Aleph Zero launched here at around January 2022. So they kind of launched at, you know, the peak of the bull run, or basically when the bull run was over, actually. So at the beginning of the bear market. So they never really had a proper bull run, but they have a very strong team, very strong tech. They also focus a lot on ZK. And I think ZK is maybe the kind of the torch that's carrying the privacy segment this year. So I think ZK is a big narrative. Polygon focuses a lot on ZK. Aleph Zero focuses a lot on ZK. Anoma or Penumbra as well. So I think that's going to be a big one. We also see Mina protocol in that category. So Mina is also a very interesting one. And then Oasis network that has also been around for many years. Obviously Monero, but Monero is more like a privacy coin, whereas Oasis, Mina, Aleph Zero, they're proper privacy chains that also offer kind of new generation of privacy that's also faster, scalable, and also enables compliant privacy, which is kind of, I think, this intersection between what is possible in a regulatory world versus still maintaining privacy in the blockchain ecosystem, right? So I think these two worlds inevitably will merge at some point. Shade Protocol also has a focus for compliant privacy, also for auditing purposes, which is super important for businesses, but also for private individuals. And yeah, that's about it. So Aleph Zero, definitely want to put in your watch list. We have a big video coming up on Aleph Zero quite soon. So you'll learn all about ZK and their kind of privacy architecture. And yeah, also Mina protocol, probably want to put on your watch list there as well. Aleph Zero itself is one project that we're obviously going to be covering more here as part of our content partnership with the Aleph Zero team. It's currently at $1.17. So only has around a $400 million fully diluted valuation, which, to be honest, for an L1 of that caliber is quite low, right? If you compare it to other big chains out there, right, that are on page 1, this one is still on page 3, basically. So there's still a lot of upside. And like I said in previous videos also, this thing never had really, you know, a proper bull run, right? And it has been in this range, very low volatility for being a cryptocurrency, between $3 and 60 cents. So A0 definitely one to put on your watch list. Then we have some big news, breaking news from Noble, which we've been covering here ever since the creation of the idea of building a native asset issuance chain back in the days with Yelena. And then this was first announced at Cosmoverse in Medellin in 2022. And the original idea has always been for Noble to become an Atom-secured consumer chain on the Cosmos Hub, right? To basically rent security from the Cosmos Hub and be part of the Atom economic zone. We even had panels on this last year in Istanbul about, you know, AEZ panels with Yelena and Neutron, Stride, and Informal, and all these kind of projects that are building that. And yesterday, the news broke that Noble will in fact become a roll chain, and that actually means that Noble will use Celestia and post data to Celestia to enhance permissionless interoperability for the native asset USDC for the wider modular ecosystem, which basically means for Celestia rollups. So this integration means more accessibility and more interoperability for native USDC. This partnership does not mean that Noble now uses Celestia for security, right? So I think this is very important to point out here. And actually, I also made a tweet about that, clarifying that Noble still remains a proof of authority chain with a kind of permission validator set where we with Sexito are part of. So this does not change the security model for the chain itself. And Noble is still evaluating whether migrating to become atom secured makes sense. I personally hope they will do it. I personally hope that they will migrate to become atom secured, maybe once partial set security is live. And in that context, also Kava. So we would have native USDC and native USDT being atom secured. And that will also obviously fit into the Cosmos Hub as an interchain security provider narrative. Anyways, this is Noble news. Just very important to clarify here. This does not mean that Noble now dropped out of the race for becoming atom secured. This is still on the table. In that context, I also want to share some interesting stats here from Token Terminal about daily active users and monthly active users on the Cosmos Hub that have been going up only for the past year, 2 years, 3 years, basically. Throughout this bear market, we saw an increase in users. And then also, I think, I like to believe that the most recent kind of pump here is also because of Asteroids, right? Asteroids is the inscription protocol that launched on the Cosmos Hub a few months ago. With Sexito, we also experimented using Asteroids to basically inscribe a CFT20 token called Stake Stakecito with hat, which is also still always kind of in the top 10 of trading volume. There's always 10, 20, 30 atom in daily trading volume here. And the top coin here, or token, basically CFT20 token, which is basically the equivalent of an BRC20 token, is here now called Asteroids. And that one has a $20,000 trading volume today. And I also think that this is, maybe an interesting meta play, a leverage bet on the Cosmos Hub, basically an Atom, right, to maybe have some rights. I bought some here, and I probably will continue to buy more, because I also think that this is, very, very interesting, and only has a $4.2 million market cap. So, and also on the inscriptions, right, which are basically now also kind of NFT collections that are launching here on the Cosmos Hub using Asteroids. So I think, this trickles back to, the Cosmos Hub not only being a security provider, but now also having its own ecosystem being revived, and own culture being revived with Asteroids primarily. Then we have 3 more news. News number 1. Mantra Chain, I talked to you about it yesterday. They just announced an $11 million raise led by Shuruk Partners, which I think is a fund here in the UAE. I think maybe based in Dubai. And I hung out with John JP, the founder of Mantra. He's been in Dubai quite a lot. Now we know why. And this is a huge win, right? Mantra Chain is going to be a full-on Cosmos Layer 1 blockchain. Right now, Mantra is, and the OM token is residing, I think, as a smart contract, I think built on Substrate, if I'm not mistaken. But now they're going to launch their full-on Layer 1 blockchain using Cosmos. And with that, they're also doing an airdrop for BadKits NFT holders, BitKit NFT holders, and also for Atom stakers. As far as I understand and know, and I have been told, the snapshot has not been taken yet. So there might still be time to kind of optimize your Atom and your NFTs to get that airdrop. So check that out. And now, second news we have from Interprotocol that are basically going to propose to the Atom community to allocate 4% of atoms to be used to bootstrap more liquidity in Cosmos DeFi for native IST, but also for native Noble USDC, to just boost stablecoin liquidity across Cosmos DeFi, which I'm usually in favor for. There are obviously a lot of nuances and details in this proposal. We'll do a standalone episode on that, also as part of our Interprotocol content partnership. So we'll dive really deep into that, evaluate some of the pros and the cons, so that you can do an informed decision on voting on this proposal when this proposal actually goes live, right? Right now, it is on the Cosmos Hub forum. I invite you to read through that and provide your feedback on the forum. And also provide feedback with me. I'm obviously very close to the team, so I can also talk directly with them and provide that feedback for on behalf of you, right? Check that out. This is definitely very interesting, and I think stablecoin liquidity is super important for any DeFi ecosystem to properly thrive in a bull run. Finally, lastly, Stride airdrop. There are many airdrops going on right now. The STTR airdrop here for holding STTR, basically, that you're getting a portion of STRD tokens for, that's going on. But then also we're now entering round 15 for the STRD airdrop, that you're getting for staking Atom, Osmo, Stars, Juno, Luna, evmos, ING, UMI, CMDX, and some. And the way this works is basically that every round, if you're not claiming your airdrop, your allocation gets recycled and redistributed in the next round to those who claimed. So the more you claim, the more you get, which is a very interesting concept that they kind of pioneered. And it's really amazing, right? Because in the beginning, people were obviously whining. This launched in the bear market, so the price of STRD were down, but also people were just not claiming because they only got a couple stride. Now these rounds become bigger and bigger and bigger, and the stride price just went through the roof. So a lot of people now got a lot of money here, right? And this is how it looks like. Round 15 for Atom, Osmo, Juno stakers, Star stakers, already round 10 for evmos stakers, and round 5 for some stakers here that I have on that wallet. And the way it looks like is you have to come here, you have to basically do 3 missions. The first one, you just claim it right away. The second one, you can stake, basically delegate to a governor. And the third one, you have to liquid stake some Atom, and then you can claim it right away. I already claimed 317 tokens here, but I don't even think that's a complete list, right? Because I think this one is still incomplete, right? There's a lot that's missing here from the previous rounds, and also this round that I just claimed. But that's what it is. And yeah, I mean, that's not bad, right? It's 300 STRD at a price of $4. That's $1,200, right? So congratulations if you kept claiming this airdrop. You always got more, like I did. Like I always told you throughout the bear market, be grateful for those airdrops because they might actually compound and, you know, in the future be worth something. And this airdrop turns out to be a nice I think even 5-figure airdrop for me at this point, with some of the other wallets that I'm having. So congratulations. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys soon. Stay safe and be good.